Alrighty, should be good to go. Welcome back, welcome back. Good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday, October the 17th. Hope you guys are having a good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started in the next 2 minutes. Good morning, good morning. We have about 1 minute and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. For today's morning, we're going to go ahead and recap yesterday's trade and break down our analysis. And I think I'm going to go longer for this morning. I think we're going to go from 6:30 to 8:30. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to start earlier at 6 and just go from 6 to 8 or just run from 6:30 to 9 o'clock. Because yesterday we had news at 8:30, but my live stream ended at 8. So I might just go longer if we have any news post-stream from a 30-minute interval. So if it's like 30 minutes post-stream, I might just extend it to 9 o'clock. But we'll see. We will see. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I want to go ahead and recap yesterday's trade. So this was on AUD USD. And this is very simple. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So we take my replay tool and we go back to this area right here. This is where price was currently at, right? Price was in range 2, and we can go ahead and classify this as range 1. But I noticed that we were forming some sort of pattern in the market. So this is actually called a reverse head and shoulders. I'll put the image on the screen in a second. But when you see certain retail patterns in the market, you can identify where price is most likely going to end up moving, right? So I noticed that we had this pattern, and then I'm also combining other technical analysis into that pattern as well. So I noticed that we had this nice gap. I noticed that price was resisting for some time, which is telling me people are hopping in for sells. Well, if people are hopping in for sells, hold on, sorry about that, guys. Well, if people are hopping in for sells, that is also generating some sort of liquidity on the flip side, right? Because people are hopping in right here, where I have it highlighted. People are hopping in right here. People are hopping in right here. And there's also a lot of traffic to the side that eventually needs to be filled, right? Because when it comes to the market, we're playing against winners and losers, right? So every time orders are being grabbed, that is money being taken from the losers. Every time money isn't being grabbed or every time money is generated, winners are usually putting their stop loss and entry at a certain area that a lot of people are trying to grab as well. So in this scenario, we had a lot of liquidity built up from the flip side. So I placed my trade above that zone to make sure my stop loss was pretty nice and tight and safe just in case. And then I extended it to a 1 to 2, making this a 20 pip trade with a 10% or a 10 pip risk. So we go ahead and press play. Finally had that breakout, or it's consolidating just a little bit in range 2 before having that breakout. Boom, trade activated, and profit, has a small pullback, rejecting off of that new structure that is formed after having this breakout right here. Think of it like a break and retest. Continue, and TP2 was smacked. So in this trade, I gained about 1.1% because I was risking half. I also have my spreadsheet as well, which I'll show in a second. So on that trade, I risked around 0.6%. So I had a entry, I had a 1 lot and a 5 lot. So a 1 lot, that is um that's 0.1%, if I'm not mistaken, and then a 5 is half. Because if I'm on a 100K account, the 1% of 100K would be 1K, correct? So if I was risking 1K, I'd have to use a 10 lot. So half of that is a 5 lot. So I was risking around half. And then I had a 1 just to compensate for the swap charges, right? So in this trade, if TP2 was smacked, that was double my risk. So if I was risking half, I made 1% in that trade. So I have everything documented here, which is perfect. And we're starting off really good, using low risk for a high reward. So that was that on AUD. All these other pairs we can go ahead and talk about. So on Euro AUD, our play also went really good. So we had this nice tactical analysis. We had our ranges divided, and I pretty much analyzed that if price wanted to come back in the range 1, we would see nice structure. So notice how price has this breakout right here. And this is a move I missed yesterday. I think this was during Asian session. And that's another thing. You guys will not be able to capitalize, or you won't, how do I put this in words? You're not going to be able to catch every move in the market. But that's fine. It's not about catching every move. It's about being precise with the moves that you can catch with low risk. Because realistically, the market is going to show you 1,000 opportunities a day, right? So you're not going to be able to capitalize on every opportunity. So yes, I could have caught this move, but I'm going to be grateful that I caught a move in general that made its way into profit. So you're going to see setups like this all the time. But if you're able to analyze what just happened in the market, you're going to be able to find this opportunity again. So the fact that I had this marked up and it went the way I perceived tells me that I'm going to be able to find another setup like this with ease. So in this pair, or on this pair, on Euro AUD, pretty much analyzed that the market was divided into 2 ranges. And I said, if we do have a breakout, it will come into range 1, have a small pullback, and then form its way back down to this nice support. So as you guys can see, we have this breakout, has a nice break and retest, hits that nice newly formed resistance, comes back down, and precisely hits that nice surface level at around 1657.43. So if you did want to draw out some sort of zone, let's say if we're on the 15-minute time frame, you want to try to be more precise, you could mark up a zone right here, candle to candle, and just pull this out. And notice how price respects that HPI, which is that highest point of interest, right? So again, I'm not too crazy about entering on that HPI. I primarily like to try to find that 50% level, so that middle mark, so that my stop loss can be tighter. Because if I did enter in right here, I most likely would have used a 1-to-1 so that my stop loss wouldn't be too wide. And then notice how it rejects off that newly formed support and it comes back up, and you would have caught a good amount of pips. So this probably would have got you into profit. But again, if I can identify some sort of move in the market and I understand why it happened and I missed the trade, that's perfectly fine. There's going to be setups like this over and over again. So Euro AUD, we could keep an eye on it this morning just in case it does respect range 1 and start ranging like we've seen yesterday on previous pairs. So I might just keep an eye on it. You never know, it might come back into range 2. So for now, we're just going to mark it as green. AUD USD, was this the pair that I traded? It was. So we're going to mark this as orange. Or what's a good color? So if we, honestly, we just put it back to red for now. I don't want to make this color coding too confusing. Gold, we're going to mark green. We're going to got gold this morning. So we already went through AUD USD. AUD JPY. Same play. As you guys can see, I wasn't even paying attention, but I'm pretty sure we had the same playbook for AUSD. So basically, noticing this nice market pattern. It's not the best market pattern. It's not as clean as the one we saw in AUD USD when we talk about a reverse head and shoulders. But notice how all this traffic got filled, right? So we go ahead and do the replay. price was most likely around this area. And again, we have structure because price is also forming double tops, right? It's rejecting off of the surface or the ceiling. So we have a touch right here, and we have a touch right here. And if we go ahead and press play, notice how eventually we have that nice breakout, right? And then price eventually has this nice spike, taking out all these orders in the market and also filling all this traffic, and does its thing. But this wick kind of throws me off. So if you were in profit and then you got wicked out, it is what it is. But I say USD was a lot cleaner. We also had news on USD, which makes sense. So yeah, you guys will see the same setups all the time. Prime example, AUD JPY. Moving on to CAD JPY. I'm not sure if we had news on JPY because this wick is throwing me off. I'll check in a second. But on CAD JPY, I noticed that we also have some sort of range formation, and I was anticipating price to come in a range too, which it hasn't, which is perfect because that's building up more liquidity, right? So eventually, if price does decide to come into this range, it's going to be a lot cleaner because we have orders to be grabbed. There's actually volatility, right? And then if we have a nice pullback, we can find some sort of pullback entry to where we're heading into range 2 with a clean move, just like that. So that's something we'll also look at this morning if price does decide to range around 109.959. So I'll just mark it green. Euro AUD, I think we just talked about that, correct? Euro AUD, we're going to keep an eye on as well, just because we want to see if it's going to respect its newly formed range or if it's going to come back in the range 2. Euro CAD, we're going to go ahead and come back to this pair in a second. Euro CHF, I'm not a huge fan on CHF pairs. That is Switzerland. Euro GBP, we're going to analyze this morning as well. So we'll keep that red. Euro JPY, we can also take a look at this as well. I have it marked up orange, which means we're going to come back to it this week because it is ranging right now. We're trying to see when it's going to have that breakout to the upside or downside. Because as you guys can see, this surface is being respected and touched. We have a touch right here. We have a touch right here. And we have a touch right here. And if we come to the far left, we also have all this bearish traffic that needs to be filled. So there is liquidity built up above the zone. So eventually, if price does near around 158.506, we might get that big move. So I'm going to have this marked up in orange, and I might as well put an alert as well, just because I have so many pairs on my watch list. If I'm not paying attention, I could miss out. So we're going to go ahead and just mark this up. We're going to put it around 108.385, and I'll simply just say watch price, so we don't miss this move throughout the week. $3.85. Watch price, Euro JPY crossing. All right, cool. So that alert is placed just so I don't miss out if I do happen to be away from my computer, and I can get that alert on my phone and be notified. So watch price, and I would say the same thing for the downside, because when you have a ranging market, you're waiting for that breakout, right, to the downside or upside. But because we have a high, or because we have more value to the upside, I'm anticipating price to gravitate towards that area because price is attracted to money. That's how it moves. So the more orders that need to be grabbed or liquidity floating yet to be taken, that's where price is most likely going to head. Because if we look at this area, for example, if we come over here, right, let's go ahead and take our replay tool. We can pretty much see that price is ranging, and we have liquidity from the bottom because we have all these touches right here as well. That is generating liquidity. A lot of buyers in the market placing trades right here, placing trades right here, placing trades right here. And what is that doing? It's generating liquidity because people are buying right here, like I just said. People are buying right here, and people are buying right here. So that area between your stop loss and entry hold a lot of value, right? Same thing that I just mentioned from the upside. So let's say people are hopping in right here. People are hopping in right here. People are hopping in right here. Again, all that stuff or that area from your stop loss to your entry, that red zone, it holds liquidity, believe it or not. Because if you lose, you're not just losing. People are taking that from you. So we can go ahead and visualize this real quick and put like a little money sign right here. And I'll put another money sign right here. Right? So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm going to go ahead and delete all this so it's not too confusing. But we have a lot of opportunity from the upside and downside. So why am I anticipating price to move to the upside? Because if I continue, notice that price already takes out these orders. Boom. That candle that we just saw, that impulsive candle, the reason why it moved so fast is because it took out all of these orders or it took out all of these buyers. So because all that got taken out and there's still liquidity floating to the upside, I'm anticipating price to move towards the upside since we already got that move towards the downside. So if I continue, all this stuff is no longer valid. So we can go ahead and delete this money sign because all those orders got grabbed. And then notice how price comes back into this range. It's that previous support eventually, boom, and doesn't break out, and it's still floating in this range. So that's why I'm anticipating price to eventually pull back up. Where's my alert? Am I tripping? I swear I just had an alert placed. We'll just go ahead and place another alert, and I'll say, was it right here? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and delete it and remark it because that's throwing me off. I'll just put it right here. Oh, because I'm in replay mode? Oh, okay. Let me just go ahead and mark it up again. It's all good. $3.15. I'll just say watch price. All right. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and highlight that green for now because we might come back to it this morning. Euro USD. So we talked about Euro USD as well. Same setup, guys. Same setup. So we might get this move this morning. So notice how price is kind of doing its thing in range 2. We have some sort of formation of a reverse head and shoulders, and then we also have a double top. It's not the perfect double top, but again, there were sellers in the market that is generating some sort of opportunity for buyers. So if we do get this breakout, we're going to see a really nice move to the upside. All this should be filled, and we'll go ahead and target the next available support or resistance, which would be around here, right? So this would be a nice 20 pip move, which is fine. We caught 20 pips yesterday. So I'm definitely going to eye this one as well. And we're going to come back to it in the next 30 minutes or so. Let me go ahead and just delete all this too. If we scale in on the 1 hour, sometimes if it's too hard to find that next area, support or resistance, you just scale in and it looks more clear. So I'm just trying to find where price had the most touches. This right here is forming some sort of reaction as well. If we scale in some more, we can make it more accurate. I would say this is pretty good for now. So let's go back on the 2 hour. Let's just have this ready. I'm gonna go ahead and put another alert because you never know, honestly. I wouldn't want to miss this move. I'll just say watch price. Let's make this a different color. Let's make it right here. All right, cool. So 10, 55, 74. I'm simply just going to say watch price. All right, boom. We have that alert placed. Cool. Just so if I'm on another pair and I'm not paying attention, I can quickly come back to this. So GBP AUD, we're also going to come back to this in a second. I just want to go ahead and check news so that I have time to come back. GJ as well. GN. GBP USD, USD CAD, and USD JPY. Okay, cool. So first things first, let's go ahead and check our factory. We'll put this bad boy over here. Let's close out on this. All right, this morning, Tuesday, October 17th, we have news all day, but it's yellow folder, so we're not really paying attention. 8 o'clock a.m., we have FOMC member Williams speak on USD. We have a yellow folder, so I'm not going to pay too much attention on that. 8:30, we have news on CAD. We have CPI, median CPI, trim CPI, common CPI, and core retail sales. Oh, and retail sales right here. Okay. So this is CAD and USD at 8:30. If you guys don't know what CPI means, it simply stands for Consumer Price Index. And again, if you didn't know that, click on the folder and it will give you information. Why traders care. Consumer prices account for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead the central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for their inflation containment mandate. And then it tells you right here, it's also just called CPI, Consumer Price Index, which is cool. And then down here, core retail sales. If you guys don't know what this is, sometimes these folders will give you information. For example, CPI, it tells me why traders care and it gives you more information. Sometimes it won't, but you can honestly just look it up. It's not a crazy Google search. So if you have any confusion on what these folders mean, you just look it up. So since we have news at 8:30, I might just go longer. I might just extend this live to 9 o'clock, which is perfectly fine with me, just because I want you guys to be able to catch these moves as well. But we had, we have CAD and USD. So for gold, let's go ahead and analyze gold. So for gold, as you guys can tell, I like catching those moves from the flip side. So of course, when I'm looking at gold right now, most traders are just trying to see if price is going to come back to that support level so that they can catch a re-entry for a buy, right? That's like the average retail concept. You're just trading off support and resistance. So of course, if you have your zone marked up or you just have a strict line of support, which is perfectly fine, drag that bad boy out. If you scale down to 30-minute, you can clearly see that price is forming some sort of structure. So we have this range right here, right? We just say this is range 1. We just say this is range 2, okay? If price does decide to come back down this morning to around 1909, 389, of course, people are going to try to catch that buy, re-entry, right? But I'm looking at it from a liquidity standpoint. Where is a lot of value being placed in the market? If people are buying and buying and buying, there's an area that is yet to be grabbed from these institutions, from these big ballers, right? From these banks. So I'm trying to catch those moves with the banks, right? When we talk about smart money concepts, I'm looking at that void where price is most likely going to have a spike. So when we have that area in the market that people are ignoring, I'm paying attention because eventually we're going to have a spike. Eventually those orders are going to be grabbed. So if price does decide to come back down to 1909, I'm anticipating for some sort of sell stop so that we can come back in the range too. We have clean traffic over here, nice bullish candles that need to be filled. So if price does decide to come back here, I'm looking to come back in the range too. That's just me though. That's how I view the market. That's how I was able to capitalize on yesterday's move because I'm going with these big ballers, right? I'm going to where the candles are forming a lot of value. Okay. So that's my anticipation for gold. So we'll come back in the next 30 minutes. This is the 30-minute time frame. So price can definitely make its way down here in this live. If not, of course, I'll just keep you guys posted tomorrow. But that's my breakdown on gold. And before we go to the next one, let's just go ahead and check our other news, just in case we have any announcements. So recommended Euro USD forecast. Buyers remain hesitant to bet on a steady rebound. U.S. retail sales preview. Rentless consumer set to left U.S. dollar. Trigger downside gold correction. Okay. Gold price remains in tight range ahead of Biden's visit to Israel. Gold price trades in a narrow range as investors digest tensions in the Middle East. So gold price traders are in a narrow range. Okay. So when I think about a range, right, I'm thinking that price is kind of consolidating. It's going in and out, and it doesn't really have a direction. As you can see, price is doing that. It's ranging, guys. It's in range 1, and it's trying to decide if it wants to continue up or range more or go back down to range 2. So we're going to keep an eye this morning as price doesn't really know where it wants to go when we talk about a bullish or bearish trend. I believe that's it. And then we have CPI this morning. So I think that's the biggest heads up this morning. So yeah, we'll see what we can find these setups in the next 30 minutes. But we have gold down. We reviewed AUD USD. I think I'm done with this pair. In terms of capitalizing on this move, I think I'm gonna chill out on AUD. Same with this pair. CAD JPY. We're gonna go ahead and mark it red. Don't really know where it wants to head for now. Let's go and delete all this stuff too. Oh, wait, never mind. We did analyze this pair. If price decides to come up, we're going to see if we can take it into range 2, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say watch price on this pair because you never know. I don't want to miss this move. Let's go ahead and put an alert right here. 920. We'll just say watch price. All right, cool. We'll go ahead and mark this green. Euro AUD, we did analyze this as well. So the market is now in range 1, and it's doing its thing. We could get a nice break and retest. And a lot of people would place their fibs, hitting that golden sweet spot, and then having a nice bearish continuation because we do have structure. We have lower lows and lower highs. So we might just revisit Euro AUD this morning. We'll see what happens. But it is looking like a good opportunity for a bearish continuation. So, okay, cool. We have that marked green. I'll just say, yeah, I'll just say watch price as well at around this newly formed resistance. I'll just keep it there and put watch price, or I'll say, what do I want to say? I'll say, we'll just keep it nice and simple. Watch price. I was trying to complicate it. Watch price. Cool. Euro CAD. Let's go ahead and analyze this top-down analysis. So I noticed that price is starting to head up. We scale on the 4-hour. It is pretty stagnant. We have structure right here that it is reacting off of. We have a nice touch right here in the middle, and then comes back, and then we have another touch. It's forming that nice M formation, and price is reacting off of it. So we could say this is range 1, and this is range 2. So it's currently in range 2. It could come back into range 1 because we don't have any huge wicks. So realistically, if we wanted to catch any sells, we'd have this nice setup because we also have this traffic to the side that I highlighted yesterday. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's make this more precise. So price could realistically head towards the downside if we have a nice push this morning. Um, yeah, I'll go ahead and mark this up as well. Why not? And that's another thing. You guys have to take advantage of your alerts, honestly. Because if you're not on your computer, let's say you're in class, let's say you're at the gym too, you won't have to double check so much because you have that alert placed. Boom, it hits your phone. You know what you're looking at already. You know what I'm saying? So watch price. We'll just have this marked up green. Euro CHF, not a huge fan of trading CHF. Let's go to Euro GBP. GBP is looking pretty choppy only because when I notice we have a breakout in the market around this area, it's not the cleanest breakout. So notice how it comes in and out. We have a lot of wicks, and also these orders were already taken out from this wick, and it just looks pretty sloppy. Even coming to the downside, it's not the best range. So this is a choppy range. So when you have a choppy range, honestly, just stay away from the pair. It's not worth it. You don't want to try to force your entries. Euro JPY, we have this analyzed already. Euro USD. Okay, we also have this analyzed, cool. And then we're not trading any of these pairs, right? All right, cool. So that is, are we trading gold? No. Gold is going to be marked orange because I doubt we're going to get this move this morning because gold is pretty stagnant right now. We also had that news announcement that it is pretty stagnant. What did it say? Gold trades at a narrow range. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just keep that an eye for this week, but I doubt we're going to get a move this morning, which is fine. On gold, I try to go for big moves. So if we do catch smooth throughout the week, this will be a big drop for about 300 pips, right? So that's where my head's at when it comes to gold. I try to catch those big moves. Last year I was catching, my average was around 150 to 200 pip moves. I'm going to continue to trade like that, right? But on these regular pairs, if we find these small moves in the market, 20, 30 pips, that's fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setups this morning, which is perfect. We have our alerts marked up on every pair. And now we just chill and wait for price to lead the way. So we have about 20 minutes, and I'll go ahead and check back. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in a minute. I'm going to be here too at my desk. I'm just turning my camera off for 1 second so that I can use the restroom. Be right back. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and set this trade up on Euro USD. So let's go ahead and get our position. Let's slightly have it above this zone. And we'll honestly just target the next area. So we'll go ahead and put this lower right here. This is a nice 20 pip move. We'll go ahead and extend this as well because we can always break even. We'll have this right here. And the move is playing out right now, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in a second. We can make this a nice 1 to 2. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. This is Euro USD. Ah, shit. Okay. Okay. So hopped in a little late, but that's okay. That was around what? This is 7 pips late. Not too crazy about. It's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and adjust our parameters real quick. So entry was at around 5693. Let's go ahead and adjust this real quick so we can actually make this tighter. Let's make this 15 pip trade. We'll make this a nice 1 to 2 right here. So we'll go ahead and modify trade. Stop loss 105,618. TP 105,843. So you see how fast that moved, guys? It's because we had a lot of momentum or liquidity built up above that level. So we hopped in just a little late, but it's perfectly fine. If price does decide to come back and pull back just a little bit, if we do get wicked out, I might just look for a re-entry. But that is me risking 1% on my account. So this is a nice 1 to 2, so it'll be a 2% gain. We made a profit of 1.1%, so it wouldn't really pull me back too far. So we're perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and mark this up blue because we're in. And we'll just keep an eye out on this. And I'll update my Discord in a second. Just make sure everything is accurate. Give me 1 second, guys. Just making sure my parameters are right. So this is 7.5. Okay, 7.5 plus 7.5 is 15. Okay. Sometimes you just want to double check to make sure, guys. And again, I used a 10 lot on my 100K account. So this is 1%. So TB gets maxed. This is a 1 to 2. That would be a 2% gain. And then we would be up 3% in our account. Just trying to make sure everything's accurate. Give me 1 second, guys. And then Euro CAD, we're also looking at this pair. So we're just going to go ahead and just keep these side by side like we had before. It's Euro AUD. And Euro AUD did the same thing. Look, guys, it came back in this range, or it kind of spiked up just a little bit, and it's doing its thing. So we go on the 1 hour. Let's just see what's happening. The only thing I'm skeptical about on Euro AUD is that we have some previous structure of a bearish trend. So this could just be a formation. It could just be tapping this area for a second and then push down. But Euro USD, 100%, just had a nice breakout. We don't have previous structure. It's just taking out these orders and filling up all this traffic, 100%. I'm going to go ahead and document this real quick. So this is the 17th, 10, 17th, 2023. This is on Euro USD. USD, we're going long. Size 10. Entry was 1.05 5693. Stop loss is 1.0 5618, I believe. Let me double check. 56. Yep. Take profit is 1005843, and the ratio was a 2. Oh, cool. So it has that calculated already, and then we'll go ahead and just take a screenshot and then have this bad boy ready. So go ahead and extend this real quick. And this is Euro USD. So we have news at 8:30. So this could impact our trade if TP isn't smacked already. Hopefully we can get to that break even point. So I'm going to have my alert open right here. We are risking 7.5 pips briefly. So let's go ahead and put it to 7.6. And we're going to have an alert right here telling us to break even once we hit that point. Break even meaning, basically means moving my stop loss of my entry so that I can't lose any money, right? So it's a risk-free trade. And I'll just say BE. Simple as that. Cool. And then if you want, let's say if you're not on your chart, you could have an alert that says close your trade if you wanted to, or just say stop loss hit. So we'll just have an alert right here and have stop loss hit. Just like that. All right, we should be good to go. Oh, I didn't take a screenshot. Okay, so go to my camera, copy link. Let's put it on here. And then I will update Discord in a second. Give me a second, guys. Insert link, paste, okay. And we should be good. Now we just see how this trade plays out. Simple as that, guys. Simple as that. Let me go ahead and update Discord. Or not Discord. Why am I saying Discord? It's called OBS. So trades taken live. This is Euro, USD, Euro USD, and we'll say we'll just say Euro USD. All right, now we'll just see how it plays out, guys. Simple as that. I'm gonna keep an eye on this for the next 10 minutes and be off camera. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and we will check back in the next 10 minutes to see what happens. Yo, what's up, Goku? What's up? What's up? I'm currently long on Euro USD. So all the positions that I have right now should be on the screen. Trades taken live is Euro USD. I'll actually go ahead and put that to the side. And then I'm keeping an eye on Euro AUD. I'm keeping an eye on gold throughout the week, and I'm keeping an eye on CAD because we have news at 8:30. But for now, I'm only long on Euro USD. I cannot make this up. I can't make this up, guys. Look at the runner. Look at it go. So basically, guys, I'm gonna explain it once it hits BE. Um, but when you have a lot of liquidity built up, you'll see fast moves like this. So notice how this candle is just soaring, right? My only regret, I was like 2 seconds late from hopping in, and it cost me like 5 pips. In 2 seconds, price was moving 5 pips, right? So if we do have a pullback this morning, ideally, since it is in range one after having this breakout, it's gonna pull back. And the only concern is being wicked out because we have news at 8:30. But if everything goes smooth, this should end up hitting TP by the end of this live. We have this nice candle formation. We have like 14 minutes before we have another candle interval. But right now we are sitting in profit. If we hit BE, I am considering on moving my position to risk free. But my only concern as well is that pullback, right? So if you guys have multiple positions, yes, break even. But if this is your only position, I would say just let it play out because price could eventually pull back before hitting TP. But we are like 2 pips away from TP right now. Or excuse me, 2 pips away from BE. So we have about, all right, boom. BE was hit and price is still moving up. So if you are in this trade, I suggest you move your stop loss to your entry, make it risk free so that if price does decide to come back down, you'll be at zero risk. But as you guys can see, my 1-to-1 was hit. So that's currently a 1% gain and price is still moving up. We have 30 minutes. If TP is hit before news, that's great. If not, I am going to move my stop loss to my entry. So that's a risk-free trade. But I cannot make this up, guys. I can't make this up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll see these moves happen over and over again, but you have to capitalize on it. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to what I was doing. I'm just on my phone chilling. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, shout out to you, Goku, for that sub, and appreciate for anyone that's watching this right now. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you guys can go back through the video and watch all my analysis. Right now, I'm only eyeing Euro USD. It's the only trade I'm currently in. We're gonna keep a good eye on gold throughout the week to catch a really good move before any heavy news. All right, so I'll see you guys in a second. Danny asked, how do you live stream on YouTube? What do you use to go live? I use OBS. So OBS helps me put all this up on the screen so you guys can see all this information that you're looking at right now. And I use my Mac. So I just click on that live button, but OBS is like the stream service where it helps me set up the link. If that answers your question. I know it sounds confusing, but just look up OBS. It's either OBS or Streamlabs, but OBS is usually the primary software for YouTube, and Streamlabs is for like Twitch and like other streaming platforms. But shout out for tuning in. Hope you're having a good morning, my guy. The only trade that I hopped in this morning was Euro USD, and we're just simply watching this trade play out. I did hop in a little late, which is my only regret because we are going to have a small pullback. It might happen now, but notice how my stop loss is near that pullback area where price does decide to hang out in this range. It's most likely going to reject off of some sort of support, right? We don't want that support to be near my stop loss. So we did hit BE. If you have multiple positions, you can break even, making this a risk-free trade, or just let it play out. We are around 5 to 6 pips away from TP, as you guys can see on my screen, or 8 pips now. We're going to let this trade play out. No problem, bro. Also, I'm considering doing London session, guys. I'm considering doing London session, all right? During my whole phase right now, I'm thinking about just getting sleep early. Getting sleep earlier than normal to wake up at 1 a.m. to be up for like 3 hours, take a nap, and then be up again for this. I'm thinking about it. Someone asked me if I'm considering. I'm considering, all right? Just letting you guys know. I'm just getting my schedule right. Because as you guys know, we're in the 4th quarter. This is the perfect time to trade. I've been doing this for 4 years. This is the best time to trade, okay? When it's the 4th quarter, you'll see the best type of opportunities in the market. The worst time to trade is the summer. Best time to trade is quarter 4 and into quarter 1. And then it starts to slow down quarter 2 because you head into the summer. And then, The only thing you have to be careful about in Q4 is the holidays. So usually on Christmas, like a lot of people are staying with the markets, the big ballers are hanging out with family, right? So the market starts to become more choppy. But, during October, the fall, like you'll see the best opportunities, guaranteed, 100%. So I'm just very cautious right now on Euro USD. I'm just waiting to have that pullback. Hopefully it's a small pullback before news. We're gonna see where we're at 8:30 because we do have news at USD, and it's CPI, guys. You guys know how CPI works. It's very volatile. So if we're close to TP, I might just break even. But if we're not, we might just close my position because we're already above a 1-to-1, right? So we would be up 1%. Currently 6 pips away, so I don't know, I might just hold, but the only thing that I'm cautious about is news and pullback. That's the only thing. And I'll talk about it as well if I do break this down. My only regret is I hopped in a few seconds late, and a few seconds can cost you if you have a lot of built up liquidity, because price was literally moving as I was talking. So I hopped in when it was over 5 pips already. So this trade probably would have been done, if I'm being honest with you guys. If I'm 6 pips away now and I hopped in around 6 to 7 pips late, this trade would have been closed. I would have been up 2%, but it's all good. We're gonna see what happens. We have about 10 minutes before we have that opening on the 10-minute, or I'm sorry, on the 30-minute in 1 hour. guys. So I just closed only because I have one position open. And I was pretty, what's the word? I'm okay with having that 1% gain this morning because if we were risking half yesterday and I went full 1% this morning, I technically was risking half if my 1-to-1 was hit. So we have that nice 1% gain, which is perfectly fine because we're just starting out the week. Yesterday it's 1%, today it's 1%. So I'm gonna keep that going, right? 1-to-1 or 1-to-2, but we're gonna try to find fast moves in the market. If it's pretty stagnant, we're not gonna wait unless we have news. Or I'm sorry, especially since we have news, we're not gonna wait because anything could happen. So in this scenario, let me turn the music down. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second. Sorry about that. I know you guys couldn't hear me, but in this scenario, since we just closed at that 1-to-1 and I only had one position, I'm going to wait for that pullback to enter in again before news because price hasn't yet had that pullback, right? We had a lot of impulsive action. And why do we have that impulsive action or that impulsive move? Because we had liquidity built up. So we have a breakout, but remember, whatever comes up has to come down just a little bit if it wants to continue. So in a bullish trend, you need a pullback. In this scenario, we have a lot of bullish traffic. There's no pullback yet. So in this particular trade, since it already hit my 1-to-1, I'm going to close. There's no reason why I should stay in this position until I have that pullback. So I'm going to wait for that pullback to have a pullback entry before news. So as you guys can see, I pretty much closed at a perfect time. Price is starting to pull back down. So we closed at around 10.5782, and this was a 1% gain. So now we're up 2%, and it's only Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and just mark this coordinates. This is, let me make this accurate. Style coordinates. Okay, here we go. I think TradingView, they switched something, but this was 5782. So I closed at a really good time, honestly. Danny said, do you still offer your course? Nope, I'm not selling anything at the moment. The only thing I am doing is the service that you see on Telegram if people need signals and stuff like that and like mentorship. But my website is down. It's not going to be up until the end of the month, truthfully. I'm just not focused on selling or promoting on Instagram. I am gonna start uploading content today, but I'm not selling anything. I'm just focusing on these live streams until I have motion. Until I average, like, my goal honestly is to average at least like 100 before the end of the year. That's not a crazy goal, and then I'll start selling stuff. But honestly, I don't need to focus on that right now. I need to focus on myself. Or I need to focus on my accounts, truthfully. Yeah, we're going to wait for 30 minutes before we have that news announcements. And if you guys want to see what we're heading into, just go on Forex Factory. But at 8:30, we have CPI on CAD. We have median CPI. We have trim CPI. And then we have USD core retail sales. CPI being that consumer price index, the most important inflation-related release due to its earliest and broad scope. Consumer prices account for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead the central bank to raise interest rates out of the respect of their inflation containment mandate. So CPI and NFP, I think those are primarily the most volatile news unless we have the president, vice president speaking. You have CNBC as well. You can check up on interest rates if you're trading stocks and stuff like that, or if you're trading different utilities, if you're trading US 30. I don't trade US 30, but commodities and all that stuff. Primarily want to focus on news because commodity, it's in the name, XAU USD. We have that announcement in 30 minutes. So again, I'm just waiting for that pullback entry. If we get it, that's awesome. If we don't, we're already up 1%. So I'm chilling. But I'm going to go ahead and document this. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we're just going to chill. So let's go ahead and when do you think it's best to get funded? Now, Q4. I would say the start of September or the start of October. You don't want to wait till the end of October, honestly, because heading into November, that's when it starts to get a little choppy because of the holidays. You have Thanksgiving, and then you have what? Christmas. So if you can get funded right before Christmas, you'll be good heading into quarter one. Promise you. 100%. So again, we're just waiting for a pullback entry. And I'll have everything documented, guys. I'm gonna be doing this every single day. And then of course I'll have my screenshots posted on the community tab, and then I'll start posting again on Instagram. But that's it. I'm not gonna be in Discord. I'm not gonna be on Instagram 24/7. I'm not gonna be selling stuff. I'm only gonna be doing this live stuff Monday through Thursday, and then if I need to, I'll trade London session. But then I'm going to sleep. I'm not focusing on anything else. Honestly, this is the only thing I'm focusing on. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on the best way to reach out to me, honestly, is YouTube. Like, I'll read my comments. I'm not probably not gonna be on Instagram that much. I'm probably just gonna post and then go off the app because I have other things to focus on. And then I'm just gonna be doing YouTube, honestly. But YouTube is the best way to reach out to me for now. And I'm not in Discord. I'm not in Discord right now. Use FTMO. I'm currently doing yes, this is FTMO. The prop firm I'm using right now is FTMO. And that's another thing. You want to do your research on these prop firms because as I was away or as I was gone, bruh, I was able to do so much research and digging on all these prop firms that people were hyping up when I was away. And you guys are really like, not, I don't want to say gullible, but do your own research, which is why I'm off Instagram, because so many people, they look up to other people that are doing stuff and they're not doing their own research. So just because one trader says this prop firm is legit, maybe they're just affiliated. Maybe they just want you to click on their link. Maybe they just want you to sign up so they get some sort of commission off of it instead of actually doing your research to see if it's legit. Watch a whole bunch of videos. Like, what was the prop firm that got exposed recently? I think it was My Forex Funds, MTF or something. There was a prop firm that got exposed, and there was another one called Trusted. It started with a T. I can't remember the name, but people are getting scammed left and right because they're not doing research. Most people in that industry are affiliated with those prop firms, you know. And then you have people trying to make their own prop firms because they understand a lot of people are trying to get funded, so they're trying to take advantage of that 90-to-1 ratio where people are losing just to sign up so they get that fee. Like, you guys really have to be careful. Do your own research. Don't look up, or you can look up to people, that's fine, because I know some people look up to me, that's perfectly fine. But I always tell people, at the end of the day, you want to be able to be self-efficient. You don't want to have to pull up your chart and go to someone's live stream to make sure, what's the word? To copy and paste, pretty much. You want to be able to hop on the chart and have confidence and find your own setups so that you don't have to rely on someone 24/7. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the objective of trading, is to have that freedom and self-efficiency so you don't have to rely on anyone. So right now, as you guys can see, Euro USD is pulling back a little, and I can't make this up. I exit at the best time before we have the pullback. Price is pulling up again. My only regret, again, in this trade, which would have made me up 2% instead of 1, is hopping in a little earlier, and I'll have it, I'll probably clip it up, but I was talking, and I wasn't really paying attention, and price was spiking. And this was, what, like 5 pips late? So if I would have hopped in earlier, TP2 would have been smacked. It would have been up 2%. It would have been up 3% throughout the week, but it's fine. I got that 1-to-1, and I'm satisfied, so... And I might just stay live until 9 o'clock, or I started at 6:30. So what's 2 hours? That's 8:30. I'm sorry. I'll be up until like 8:35 ish, just to see what happens off of that news, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We'll talk about tomorrow's stream, and I'll see you guys, or I'll keep you guys posted until tomorrow. But I'm considering doing London session. I gotta figure out my sleeping schedule. I'm doing a lot right now, guys. I'd be lying if I said this was the only thing I'm doing, like off camera. So I'm trying to manage my time wisely. I'm also still in school, so I'm trying to see how I can finesse time, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens. Because sleep is important. Not gonna lie to you guys. This is the only reason why I'm awake right now. This came in clutch. If you guys don't know, let me put you on. This is double shot energy Starbucks. You can get it at your local gas station. Comes in clutch all the time. I was up last night finishing up a exam. It was like 12 o'clock. Tired as hell. Went to the gas station. Woke up pretty tired, exhausted. I woke up at 5 o'clock. Started drinking a little of this stuff. Wide awake. It's clutch, I'm telling y'all. I'm not too heavy on the energy drinks just because they're not good for you. But this is clutch. How do you manage school with trading? Can I be honest with you? I trade in class. I'm literally on my computer. I'm the dude in class that sits in the back so no one can see my screen because I don't want people to know that I'm not paying attention. So I'm in the back of my class looking at the markets, or I'm freelancing. I'm working on YouTube stuff. I'm working on like thumbnails, or I'm doing something YouTube related. I'm writing scripts, and that's something I can't really talk about because I have a surprise for you guys this weekend on something that I've been working on. But yeah, I'm a crackhead in class. I'm doing everything all at once. So truthfully, a lot of people try to tell me there's a way to balance. In my opinion, there is no balance. You just have to do all at once. You have to be a crackhead, honestly. Um, so yeah, I think that's my best answer. You just have to learn how to do everything all at once and be okay with it because my whole thing is if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and what I'm doing right now is hard. Like trying to balance my life is hard as hell. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. And yes, I am a senior in college. So you can imagine I'm trying to graduate. I have all this stuff going on. There's no balance. So you don't really manage. There's no, I don't know. I really don't know. Some might say there is a way to manage, but if you are really serious about this and you're doing a whole bunch of stuff outside of school, there's no sweet path. There's no sweet road to like, oh yeah, I'll just do this, I'll do that. Everything's gonna come at you. It's gonna come at you quick. You got to be able to just take it, you know, by the arm and say, I can do this if I really want to. It's gonna be hard, but you just got to be able to do it. So there's no easy answer to that. You just got to learn how to overcome all that pressure. So you'll see me in class. I'm literally working on stuff outside of school. Um, because here's the thing as well, how I see it, time is literally money. So in school, I'm not a huge fan of school only because half the things you learn in school you can learn online. So imagine if I'm in class not paying attention to these type of opportunities where they could, you know, make me a week or month's pay. I'm in class learning about the Pythagorean theorem. What is it? Pythagorean theorem. I think that's what it's called. But am I ever going to use that? No, probably not. So I'm in class doing this because I know it's actually worth it. I know it's actually going to get me somewhere rather than trying to focus on something that I can look up online after class. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I manage school. I focus on what I have to do at the moment and focus on what I can come back to if I need to, realistically. You know, I'm up till 1 o'clock working on a exam last night instead of getting sleep so that I can come with energy on this live. So I think school is a huge delusion. I think school distracts people from focusing on their passions. I think school distracts people from focusing on their careers that they actually want to pursue. Because if you don't pursue the things that you want to do, eventually life is going to put you in a path that's going to make you unsatisfied. I always tell people, if you don't make sacrifices for the things you want, those sacrifices or the things that you want will ultimately become that sacrifice, right? So let's say you want to start a brand, but you're not sacrificing the time to learn how to make that brand or make designs, make a website. Then eventually that dream of yours is going to be the ultimate sacrifice because you're in school pursuing A and B because your parents want you to. And I'm not dissing people that are going through school right now. That's perfectly fine. But what I've noticed, the most creative people I've ever met on campus usually let go of that dream because of school or their parents, or trying to satisfy their parents, or trying to go through that route because they don't believe in themselves. But doing this now for 4 years, I've been able to see a different version of myself because I focused, I locked in, and I had that belief system. If I was just going through the school route and not doing anything outside of school, if I wasn't doing anything, I wouldn't feel like I was actually, or I wouldn't feel like I'm progressing so much in life because I'm doing everything that everyone else is doing. So that's just a little TED talk. A lot of people disagree with my belief system because, again, they don't do what I do outside of school. So they always just tell me I can balance everything, and it is fine to just go that school route and just let life put you through a path. And I say, fuck that, bro. You only got one life, bro. You only got one life. So I can't really have a lot of conversations like this at school because a lot of people do not really get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to talk to someone. Let's say if you are doing something like, what's a good example? Let's say if you're a swim coach, you swim every day, but you're talking to people that's never touched water. It's hard for them to relate. So they're going to give you advice off of the things they perceived in life instead of actually executing in life. So I can't really have serious conversations about this because most people that I surround myself with don't want to take that risk in life. Especially, hate to say it, parents. We're growing up with all these advantages, all these technological, additional advantages that we have to start careers. Our parents did not grow up with that. So I can't really have these conversations with my parents. And my parents don't know that I do any of this stuff outside of school. Truthfully, I can't have these conversations with them because they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand at all. And I don't blame them. You know, parents, I do not blame, because you got to remember they grew up with the route of, school is the only way because they didn't have all these advantages we have now. So I don't blame parents at all. I actually support that they're trying to make sure their kids have job security. That's the main priority, honestly, is to have job security, to make sure your kids are going to be safe and they're going to be secured in life. And taking that risk, they're not so sure on because they don't know how people are benefiting off of these advantages we have and starting careers. Like, tell your parents you want to be a content creator? Are you serious, bro? What the fuck is a content creator? They're not going to know what that is. They didn't grow up with YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and there's now Kick that people are making careers off of. Content creator, you are tweaking. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's better to just stay quiet and just work on yourself because, what was I going to say? I kind of lost my thought. I think I should stop talking. I've been ranting for like 5 minutes, but you guys get my point. But as you guys can see, Euro USD is now pulling back, so I did close at a really good time. We have 20 minutes. If price does come back to that newly formed support, I might consider hopping in again. We will see in the next few minutes. But if you guys have any other pairs you want me to analyze, let me know. We have about 20 minutes before I end stream as well. We're going for an hour and 40 minutes now. But everything should be posted on IG today. Euro AUD. So the pair that I have on the right side, guys, I'm anticipating price to go into range 2. If it's not, we're going to have a nice bearish continuation. As you guys can see, we have previous structure to support that continuation of lower lows, lower highs. So price looks like it's going to continue down, which is perfect. That's fine. If you want to catch that move, you can. Me personally, when I trade, especially if I'm doing a funding challenge, if I reach my potential goal for that morning, which is at least 1%, I'm no longer trading anymore. So we reached that goal about 20 minutes ago, so now we're chilling. I would just go ahead and analyze any other pairs in case you guys need to find an opportunity. So Euro AUD, if you're catching that bearish continuation, that might be a good point to hop in right now. We can go ahead and analyze it. So when I say previous structure, I'm pretty much just looking at, where are we? Was this the pair I was on? Yeah. All right, so I'm pretty much looking at the previous candlestick, right? So I say lower highs. Well, this high is lower than this one, right? And we have some lower lows because this low is higher than this one right here. And when you have your Fibonacci, right? Because some people love using Fibonacci, which is fine. Because Fibonacci is a retail concept that we, retail traders, made up to help us find really good pivotal points for that pullback entry. So if you hopped in for a Fib entry, Perfectly fine because you have previous structure. If you don't have previous structure, you're at risk because price can do whatever it wants. It can form a new structure off of whatever level it's respecting. In this example that I have highlighted, you can clearly see that bearish candle had a break. So it broke that range, which was range 2, went back into range 1, and had a pullback. So realistically, if people use their fib tool, it's just helping them see where they could hop in for that nice pullback. So we have our golden zone, that's what we used to call it. I don't use fibs anymore because I can just see what price is doing off of the naked eye. It's just practice. But if you're still using your fib retracement, simply wait for price at that golden zone. So as you guys can see, hit that nice 0.618 level, and you would have hopped in for a nice sell back down to that surface level of 16.5696, or in better terms, support. So would have had a nice move. This would have been a nice 50 pip move. Like I said, guys, I reached my goal this morning. I'm not trading anymore. And that's another thing, or I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream. You guys will see all these opportunities line up over and over again, and it's impossible to catch every opportunity. Yes, it's going to suck. We're humans. We have emotions. I want to capitalize on every single move. It's like, damn, I missed this nice setup. But I'm going to see it over and over again, so why am I tweaking? There's no reason to freak out. If I understand why the move played out, that's even better, because if I see it again, I'm going to be able to react faster. What's your major? Finance. Biggest mistake of my life, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Biggest mistake. Fun fact, my worst subject is math. Finances. I tell people I'm a finance major, they automatically assume I'm a math wizard. Bruh. Math is my worst subject. I failed bruh, I don't even want to talk about it. But let's just say finance was not the best decision, honestly. My first major was entrepreneurship because I started the business, the brand outside of school, post-pandemic, and I wanted to correlate some sort of a degree to whatever I'm doing outside of school. But entrepreneurship is too vague, so I said, you know what? If I'm good with numbers, I'm good with making money, let's do finance. Bruh. Biggest mistake, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Biggest mistake. Only because when you do finance, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be an accountant, cool. Finance. You want to be a financial advisor, which I want to be eventually. That's cool as well. But it's not for this stuff that I'm doing right now. It's not for this stuff. I'm just good at managing money. That's it. Knowing how to calculate risk. That's it. But when it comes to being an accountant, understanding debit, credit, it's like, bro, did I just play myself? So we'll see, bro. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens with my major. I'm not too crazy about it, though. But we have about 15 minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I love answering any type of questions. If it's about life advice, anything. But shout out to everyone that's hopping on the live. We were able to catch one move today on Euro USD. We have a nice 1% gain. We are up 2% overall throughout the week, which is looking really good. We have CPI in the next 15 minutes, so I'll stay on for the next 15 to 20 minutes, but then I'm going to end the live. So if you guys have any questions, want me to analyze any pair, this is your chance. Talk about a perfect exit. Look at how price is pulling back like I anticipated, and we hopped out at that nice 1-to-1 entry, which is perfect. So now if I wanted to be aggressive, I can look for a pullback entry off of that nice 1-to-1 exit. Sorry, I kind of lost my thought there. But ideally, we want a price to come back down here to that newly formed support and then continue pushing up. And then throughout the week, we're going to look to see if price hits this new range, right? We can say 1, and then we can say 2, and then we can say 3. Just like that. Doesn't get any simpler. Again, shout out to everyone that popped in on the live. If you popped in and out, I still appreciate you. And if you're watching this live post stream, also appreciate you as well. Hopefully, you get some sort of value out of this live stream. If I don't hop in any trades, you don't make any money, I hope any type of education that you learn is useful for your type of setups. I'm going to go ahead and document this, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. So exits. This is beautiful. This is honestly beautiful. Let me go ahead and delete some of this stuff. I don't want it to be too confusing. And let me go ahead and replay. I'm just documenting this stuff. Give me 1 second, guys. So everything is documented. But look out for a post on IG. I should be returning. I don't really want to. Honestly, I might just stay off the grid until the end of the month. We'll see. I'm really not a huge fan of social media. That's why I need some managers. Like, I need people to manage my stuff because I do not like being on Instagram. I just don't. I don't know why. YouTube I'm okay with because I make content and my heart's in it. But I don't really care about flexing and looking good on the internet. My mentor told me that's a mistake because you need to market yourself. But my whole thing is people cap, bro. People cap 24/7, and it's like I have the ability to cap and make myself look good because I have the skill set of like marketing. But it's just like, let me actually achieve something before I come back. You know what I'm saying? That's my mentality. Okay. Let me come right here. Press play. I'm just trying to make it hit that all right, boom. So we'll say yeah. We exited at around 105.78. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot real quick. Let me delete this for now. Too much on the screen, bruv. Copy link. Let's paste this right here. Also, with social media, it's kind of like ironic. I don't know if that's the word, but most people that are on social media, you'd be surprised them flexing and stuff are actually doing worse in real life, and most people that are off social media are doing better. Isn't that funny how that works? I think that's what it's like in this industry as well. Most traders, like, you'll see them posting 24/7 and trying to like look good. In real life, they're probably not doing okay. The people that are really low key and don't really care about this stuff are doing 10 times better, bro. I promise you. I have a this might be super irrelevant, but I have a twin brother who doesn't even use social media. He's like a monk. All my friends from high school think he's dead. My man's is like chilling. He's living his best life. Not gonna lie to you guys. He's in Atlanta, chilling, doing good, healthy, staying fit. But a lot of people think he's dead because he's not on social media. Like, what's with your brother, bro? What's with your twin? Like, he's chilling, bro. He's living life. I talked to him yesterday. He's chilling. But that's just like an example. I don't know if that's relevant to what I was talking about. But you guys get it. You don't need to be on social media 24/7 unless it's for business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you need to market yourself for business, that's fine. But like all that flexy stuff, I'm not with it, bro. I understand why people do it, but I'm personally not with it. Like, I'm not hating on people that need to do it for marketing purposes. But I don't know. I'm not too crazy about that whole like the like flex culture. I talk about it too all the time. How in this generation we're attracted to stuff, materialistic stuff. It's easy to fool people. So that is a 2% gain on Tuesday. We're moving really good, guys. We're moving really good. Again, I'm gonna wait it out for the next 10 minutes, see what happens on CPI. I should have titled this live. CPI. It's all good. There's gonna be another CPI. So let me just do some math real quick. 5199 plus 890. All right, cool. And I'm also gonna start playing music eventually. I know these live streams are pretty sus because it's just my voice and it's kind of awkward. But I'm gonna start playing some music eventually. I just wanna make sure I have content to post. So when I make clips, I don't want music in the back. If you guys are curious on why there's no music, what pair is that? Euro USD. If I didn't break down the trade, I will later today, guys. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot as well. That's what I didn't do. Let's do this. Put this back over here like this. Put it down right here. And we'll just delete all this for now. We'll move this over here like this. Make this shorter like this, and then take the screenshot. Say cheese. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So yeah, this was a pretty good morning, guys. Pretty chill. Was able to call a nice live trade. If you guys hopped in, that's awesome. If you moved your stop loss to BE, then you're in a risk-free trade, which means you can't lose anything. We are still waiting for that pullback. I guarantee we're going to get it in the next 7 minutes off of that CPI announcement. It might wick, so also be careful with that. But if you were able to catch this one-to-one move, that's awesome. You were up, or you were able to capitalize on 10 pips, depending on your account. Yeah, I should have renamed this, but it's all good. It is all good. I'm not tweaking. I am not tweaking, guys. But the whole hype this morning is Biden's trip to Israel. I also just got the news on my phone. So if you guys want to keep up to all the news that's going on, another tip, download New York Times and subscribe to their newsletter. But here it's saying bad choices. President Biden will visit Israel tomorrow after accepting an invitation from Benjamin Netanyahu. Biden will be following his Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, who was in Israel yesterday for the second time in the past week after already having visited Egypt and elsewhere. In today's newsletter, we'll be explaining what the U.S. is hoping to accomplish with the flurry of diplomacy over the past few days. And I think that's another beautiful part about trading, because I don't really care about news. Like when I first started this, I didn't really care. I would not wake up and look at CNBC. But understanding that fundamental analysis and aspect of trading is going to get you more interested. And you'd be like, huh, okay, this is why we had this huge move in the market. Interesting. So everything just correlates. You'll start to have a understanding on economic activities, what moves the market, why it's moving like this, understanding news. It just helps you like know more, I guess. I don't know. So Euro AUD is at that nice pivotal point. If you guys were to hop into the sell, now would be a perfect time. But I'm chilling. Oh, that's two. Let me update my OBS. Sorry, guys. And we have about 3 more minutes too. I'll make sure I am focused. Let me just go ahead and switch this real quick. That is two. And then we can change this to two as well, right? Yep. All right. So since we didn't have that pullback, my prediction is that in the next 2 minutes, CPI is going to force price to wick and then push up. What's up, my boy? How you doing? How you doing? Appreciate you for stopping by. I'm about to wrap up in the next few minutes, but I'm just going over anything about CPI real quick, and I'm going to start doing post streams later this week. I might start doing London session as well, but so far we only were able to capitalize on one move, and I caught this nice 1-to-1 on Euro USD. So we are up 2% this week, which is awesome. Having a good start of the week. And we analyzed about 4 pairs. But in the next 2 minutes, I'm just going over USD and CAD since we have announcements on CPI and retail sales, I believe, right? 8:30 CPI, and we have core retail sales on USD. So any type of pairs that you're trading, just be cautious. I'm anticipating price to pull back in case you missed this entry. You can have a nice pullback entry now that we had a nice breakout into range 1. As you can see that I have marked up. So if we have a pullback, it might respect that newly formed support and then continue to push up, right? That's when we think about a break and retest entry, fib setup, etc. When you have a break, it has to pull back. So I was able to get that nice break, that impulsive move at that 1-to-1. If you were at break even, that's perfect. But now we have to pull back just a little bit if we want that continuation. Just found you out randomly. That's awesome, bro. Hopefully you come with some, what's the word? Hopefully you leave with some knowledge, I guess. But appreciate you for checking in. Hopefully my videos are helpful. I have a whole bunch of playlists on information. I've been doing this for 4 years. So if you don't like my live streams, hopefully you check out my videos. If they're not helpful, hopefully you check out any type of other stuff that I have that might help you out. But I appreciate you for tuning in. Whole objective of my live streams is to help you guys I can't speak. Whole objective of my live streams is to help you guys get a good understanding of how to trade independently so you don't have to look up to people like me every day. Nice, I'm funded with trade date, and I only trade crude oil futures. What about you, G? Awesome. So I currently have my private account, and I'm currently doing a funding challenge right now. This is all live. So I'm currently active doing FTMO. I just started. So I'm currently up 2%. And I am documenting everything. So I'm doing this stuff live with you guys, and I might have to start, I mentioned this earlier, but I might start trading, what just happened? I might start trading London. So Euro USD, stop loss hits. Interesting. So this might just be a little late. Let's see what's going on. So that alert is irrelevant, by the way. When it said stop loss hit, I don't know why I had that up. I'm out of this trade, as you guys can see. I already hit that 1-to-1 mark. I'm already up 1%. So I'm not sure why that was triggered. That was Euro USD, right? Let me check. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta see what's going on. So yeah, I caught it, guys. Look, we had CPI. And for some reason, it's not updating on my screen. But if you guys can see my phone, basically price just dipped down and took out all those orders. It's pulling back. It 100% might wick. We're going to see what happens. But if it does wick off of that previous range, then it's going to pull back up. And that's how they usually get people too when it comes to news. If you're not already out of the trade while you're in profit, that pullback wick is going to hit. It's going to be very tragic. But we already hopped out, so that alert was super irrelevant. Oh, because I wasn't on the pair. Yeah, so look. I don't know why it froze, but as you guys can see, we had a nice exit before that pullback. It's doing its thing right now. CPI is now active. Let's go ahead and check the other pairs. CAD is doing its thing. Ooh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Although there's no structure, I wouldn't be able to capitalize on that move, unfortunately. We didn't get that breakout on CAD JPY. Gold is doing its thing. Hopefully it comes back in the range too, so we can catch a nice sell opportunity. AUD JPY, that's irrelevant right now. Euro, AUD is pushing up. Euro, GBP, okay, cool. Looking for USD. Oh, this is looking crazy. Oh, this is the one we were just on. I'm sorry. Yeah, so if you didn't hop out, or if you did break even, you would have been stepped out at your entry, meaning you would have lost nothing. It would have been risk free. If you didn't break even, you would have lost this trade, unfortunately. And then GBP USD. Okay, so nothing too crazy. Oh, okay. USD CAD. So this is literally the two pairs that are going on right now. So this is skyrocketing, which is cool. This is wicking off, which is also pretty cool. Yeah. And that's why it's good to be grateful. Like, let's say if I was greedy and I wanted that 1 to 2 so bad that I just held my trade, I would have been stomped out immediately. But because I said, hey, you know, I hit my percentage or my goal for this morning, because I risk 0.5%. Realistically, I only risk 0.5%. So I did technically hit that 1 to 2 ratio if I made 1% this morning. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this live up in a second. Again, I appreciate you guys for hopping in the live. If you're not in, if you're watching this post stream, also appreciate you. Make sure you guys review or go back to certain timestamps if I do end up adding them, or just start at the beginning so you can see all the breakdowns, get any type of information that might be helpful towards your end. If you guys missed the setup, if you guys missed my trade, Euro USD, there's going to be several opportunities. The main objective is to leave with knowledge. Okay, the profit's always going to be there if you have the skill set. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Rinse and repeat. Have a good day. And I'm out.